Hello there, people. Recently, you guys have seen that I've been play. Hello there, people. Recently, you guys have seen that I've been posting a lot in various groups about my success with used media, and I'm gonna show you a thing or two about how I find most of my used media. I mostly deal in used media and sometimes new media. It just depends on if the prices are right. However, used media does move quite quickly. So the first thing which I'm going to recommend that all of you have is this Accellerlist. So Accellerlist is basically a listing software which I personally use. It speeds up a hell of a lot when actually listing on your Amazon store. You can literally create your whole shipment here, specify all of your settings, your prices, your quantity. It's just a hell of a lot faster than Amazon actually is. So I'll show you a little bit about this, how this works in a moment. First of all, we're going to get into sourcing. So the majority of my used media I purchase off of eBay. However, there are sometimes some occasions where I'll go, such as when I'm looking to buy maybe 1,000 units of a certain type of used media, whether that be books or DVDs or video games. I tend to I'll get them from wholesalers, but the majority of the time I'll buy them from what I like to call the middleman on eBay. So the experience I've had in the past with these guys is quite often what you are getting is sort of stock that's maybe, leftover store stock from places like Games, CX. You get some of that sometimes, and you also get leftover stock that's come from possibly places such as charity shops and other assortments. It's just a real jumble of what you get. You don't really know what you're going to get. However, that's kind of the luck of the draw. But when the prices are right, it works out to the point where you're getting it at such a great price. So if we hop on over to eBay, which I've got open here, so this is the sort of thing I would look for. 100 DVDs, 100 DVD bundle, mixed film titles, car boot bargain. So the majority of the DVDs that you will get will have minimal scratches on. These sort of sellers, they've already been cleaned, so you don't really have to worry about cleaning the DVDs. It's mostly on the big wholesale orders that you go for where you do have to worry about cleaning your media. So this sort of find here is great. £7.50, 100 DVDs. You don't really know what you're going to get, but at the price you're going to be paying for it. So if we just grab the good old trusty calculator. So if you're paying basically £7.50, it's a free collection in person, this one, but we'll look at some others. So if you're paying £7.50, then divide that by 100, you're paying 7.5p per DVD. So you might find in this lot that maybe I find that per every 100, maybe about 10 to 15 I personally wouldn't sell due to a number of reasons. It might be condition, it might be that there's just not enough profit in there to actually justify it. The majority of you will be ungated on some DVDs, but some you won't be ungated on. It's just, again, some publishers will let you list used or refurbished DVDs, but they won't let you list new. Others won't let you list any at all. But it's all just luck of the draw. If you are ungated on the majority of stuff and you've been running your account for a while, DVDs you shouldn't really have a problem with. But let's go into how I really go and look for stuff. So the first things I will sort of type in is wholesale. For instance, video games. Wholesale video games, there we go. So ignore all of these sort of listings. So if we have a look, so 60 PC games boxed, no duplicates. So if we have a look down here, all games are tested, or all games are untested, as unsold as seen. Okay, the majority of them I found will work. Handful have no discs inside. So I would stay away from this sort of listing because it's okay. Yes, you see Warcraft in the front here. You see Warcraft. There's 60 plus there, so there are some good picks in there. But for £99, I personally wouldn't go for that. But just to have the Warcraft discs and the expansion packs there, I know for a fact that Warcraft, as you guys fully well know, any of you that play Warcraft have played Warcraft, it's a very expensive hobby to get into. I would estimate that those Warcraft discs there, you'd probably get about 50 quid in resale value from that lot there, so that's pretty much half your cost. If you were to go for something like this, it's all about estimating, looking at those big titles in the picture. Sometimes it's, as I've said, it's the luck of the draw, but when you're paying the sort of prices you're paying, which is quite often, 10 to 20p per disc or per unit, per item, it's worth it. Okay. $25 Mass Effect free PC game job lot. Let's actually grab Mass Effect free PC. Let's go ahead and see how much Mass Effect free new is selling for on PC. So if we can have a look at it on PC, we can see that it's selling for about £11. So this is something that I would actually jump on. It's a bid, but if the price is right, so we're going to get 25, we know we could sell that for $11.69 if we're competing for the buy box. So let's go ahead and grab that calculator back up. 25. Then I'm actually going to go and grab the ASIN here. I'll hop on back over to Accellerlist. I'm going to go and create a quick batch test. So the cool thing about Accellerlist, ignore my address there, I'm going to blank that out, is you have all of this. So your channel, whether that be FBA or Merchant Fulfilled, use a custom SKU template, label preferences, seller labels or Amazon labels. You've got private workflow or live workflow. So private workflow will try and send all of your stuff to the same warehouse. Live workflow will split it up. So the majority of people, I prefer using private for used media. The majority of it will go to the same warehouse anyway, even if you were on live. So there's really no difference. I find that all of my used media goes to GLA1. So if we go ahead and type, well, excuse my phone, they're going off again. If we go ahead and type that in there, so it's rank 10k in games. Does it ever stop? This is a new game. Oh, so we know right now there's new. There is, going from what Amazon said, there's 8 left in stock. Going at that rate for 10k in games, I would reckon that within 1 to 2 weeks that'd be sold out. So you could go ahead and price a little bit higher, like this FBA guy here is. But if you want to go for the quick flips, then you might want to stick down at $11.69. Or you could get in there at $19.99, and as soon as his is sold, yours would start rolling out. So if we say $11.69, our buy cost per unit was, if we say, where are we? I reckon that'll go probably for about 40 to 50 quid. So if we put a bid on that, it's got 0 bids at the moment, it's got 6 days left. It could still get some bids, but lots like this generally in the past will go for around 50 to 60 quid. There's not a whole lot in them, and it's mostly the resellers that would go for this type of lot. more than your standard person. Your standard person isn't going to go for 25 Mass Effects. They want just one Mass Effect. So 50. What are we doing? If we go on the high end, sorry, and we say 65, divide by 25, that gives us a cost per unit of £2.60. So if we go ahead back into Accellerlist 2.6, gives us a £5 profit post fees, which is really good if we were to select that price. But as we said, if we were to go ahead and wait for that one to be sold out, and I guarantee you by the time yours gets into the Amazon warehouse, if you were to buy this sort of lot, that will be sold out. Mass Effect free on PC. I know a lot of people will go and buy it on Steam, but I know a lot of my friends, you know, they like the nostalgia of actually having the disc, and a lot of people do still prefer to have the disc, because quite often with a disc anyway, you will get a key which you can then go and license on Steam or any other one of your preferred platforms. So it's up to you. You could hop on a listing like this and look at some good profit, but that's a new wholesale lot. Again, if we go down here, you can see that this guy or similar people have got similar stuff going on. So you could go ahead and jump on any of these new games. There you go, Overwatch, Origins, PC, 25 of them. That there is a £30 game on Origin, £30 game. So if we go back out here, and what were we looking for? We were looking for wholesale game job lot. Wholesale 50 times £2.50 Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. Hello. Let's work this out. Is that right? 125 divided by, what am I doing? It's 125 divided by 50. Fucking hell, £2.50. That's the sort of listing that I personally would jump on. So if we go ahead, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, hop back into Amazon. Now, alright, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, not Advanced Warfare, sorry, isn't a new game, but it is still a hot game. So we're looking at the standard edition. Okay, Xbox One standard edition is the standard edition, isn't it? Yeah, so the standard edition, $7.99. But that's not the prime. Let's hop down again, grab our little listing code here, our ASIN, pop it in to Accellerlist, wait for it to load in. So the lowest FBA on there is $7.99. We know we've got, again, £2.50 buy cost. So going by the rank on that, 546. If you were to go ahead and jump on this 50 listings, you'd probably be possibly sold out over more than 2 weeks. 2 weeks, you know, at the longer sort of estimation, but you would be looking at from that. Wow, you'd be looking at £100 profit on that for, you know, next to no work. That's the sort of listing that I would jump on personally, and I might even jump on that later. So a lot of people have been saying that eBay, they wouldn't touch eBay for used media. Everyone has their sourcing preferences. I love eBay. There are some other sites that I use for new games when I buy wholesale for them. However, the majority of them will just give you the wholesaler and the distributor list for that game. There are various tons of sites out there that offer a membership fee. I won't be going into them in this video because mainly the majority of my used media comes from eBay. And by used media, I'm referring more to my DVDs, my games, books. I will quite often buy from charity shops, because in charity shops you get the free for £2 on whatever book it is. So you're paying 66, 70p a book. You can't go wrong there. You're guaranteed at least £1 profit. So this is the sort of listing I would jump on. Again, we've got more games. It's endless. So what I find sell really well, and what's really in at the moment, is PS2 games. A lot of people are going back to the PS2 games recently. They are selling like fire. You know, they're spreading. PS2, or yes, they're only about 10 years old, the majority of them, but it's coming into what people would consider retro now. So people are going back and buying PS2 games. So the majority of PS2 games I buy, I could make easily £1 to £2 profit a game. So if we go ahead and search PS2 game job lot, $33 games cheap, but we're looking for a huge job lot. See, the majority of them will be on bids. I find I have got quite a few on bids, but I do prefer to go for the bin listings. They're just so much easier, a lot less hassle. 16. No, we're looking for more. 100 per se. Job lot of 22 PS2 games. It's just all about looking. There we go, 118. So buy it now. You could be cheeky on this sort of listing. Some of them do have the, make me an offer. You could be cheeky. You could message the seller and just ask if they take a little bit less. Some of them will take a little bit less. So the condition they state here is acceptable. I find the majority of games that I've sort of bought are normally in the very good to good category. You're buying a lot of so 118 box PC games. Some will be missing instructions. If they're missing the instructions, I would normally say good, providing the disc's okay. Some will require a run for a disc cleaner prior to selling. So it's up to you. If you don't have a disc cleaner, you could go for this. Disc cleaners aren't that expensive to pick up. You could pick them up for around £30, or on the higher mark of £100, sort of £150. I will link the one that I use down in the description if any of you guys kind of want to look into that. So the way I would work this is I would have a look at the listing itself. So we can see the guys actually popped down below all of the games that are in this listing. So what you're looking for is those hot sellers. So games that have sort of had remakes in this day and age. Well, they will be your hot sellers. So Grand Theft Auto, that one in there is money. A theme park world, any sort of theme park world, tycoon sort of games, they sell really well. You will get quite Guitar Hero, another good one. You will find, however, you do get some games that just are kind of, I don't really want to bother with it. But as long as you can make £1 profit, the majority of used media, once you list it up, providing you're not going for the quick flips, which is what I tend to not go for on used media, because I know a sort of quick flip on used media is 1 to 2 months, and that's sort of the expected time that I normally shift. For the majority of my used media will go within a month, because I tend to only list the games that are under 50k on the sales rank, just because I want them to be gone quick. Anything that I can't personally make £1 profit on, or just isn't worth listing, goes in the trading pile. Send it in CX or somewhere like that. You won't get a lot for it, but all these games mount up. Never go for the cash, go straight for the vouchers, and literally just flip it into the next sale. if from 118 games here, you will probably have 10 to 15 games that you won't sell. CX, you know, they might give you £4 or £5 for that. That's just an estimation. You take that £4 or £5, you go around their store and you just scan the discs. Whether you go DVD box sets, you can normally pick them up for around £4 to £5. Video games, you just find something that you can just flip into the next sale, turn that game voucher into a bit of profit, so you're not losing out on these games. So where were we? The Sims, another good one. So anything that's sort of, you know, continued is in the next day and age. That's what you want. Scooby-Doo games, they do sell well. Need for Speed, another one. Tony Hawk's Underground. That game, personally, the majority of the times I get that game, I make £7 to £8 profit on it. Here we go, there's another pile there. So what we got in this pile? You do kind of just get an eye for what sells, as I said. Anything that sort of had a remake, hop on that. A lot of people, you know, they're great. Sometimes, you know, you do just want to pop into places like CEX. You quite often get some old games there. Quite often you'll find GameCube games in there for anywhere from £1 to £3. GameCube games do really well. PlayStation games you'll get in there really cheap as well. FIFA, any kind of football game, after a couple of years, the price just tanks for someone like CX, and you'll get it really cheap in there also. They actually sell quite well. Tiger Woods as well, another one that sells quite well. Another Sims game in there. So yeah, this could be a really good lot. I would buy this sort of lot. True Crime, Streets of LA. I've had that game there. If you can get it for, you know, the sort of right price, anywhere under £1, you're looking at possibly a £4 to £5 profit on that one. That's a good game. But yeah, this is the sort of listing that I would go for. So what I had today was a wholesale order, a big bulk order of PC games. So I will go ahead and show you the sort of games, you know, that I got. The majority of them that I've got, as you can see, an average sales rank of 37k. The majority of them are under 50k. I think I've only got 4 or 5 on them that were over 50k. So this lot was about 350 video games. I'll personally only sell 173 of these. Now, with shipping all in, after being cheeky, haggling the guy down, I paid 80 for this lot. It'll take me, you know, 1 to 2 months to actually go and sell all of this. Now, I'd like to add that about 20 of these titles I found in this box were brand new sealed. So that's great. Once you sort of learn what your big ticket items are, that's when you make your real money. So when we get into this, I bought, it was approximately 350, I paid 80. So if we go, sorry, wrong way around, 80 divided by 350, £22p a game is what I paid. So when I'm paying that sort of money for a video game that I know I can shift in 1 to 2 months, you're laughing. You make a great money. So 173 of these games I was able to list. Total weight, by the way, Accellerlist will approximate your weight for you. It makes it so much easier. So I don't ever bother weighing stuff, because when the listing is initially created on Amazon, quite often a weight is put in there. So what I normally do is I'll normally take this weight, convert it into kgs, and I'll add another half a kg on top of it, just for the estimation. So this is my estimated net profit. £761. Yeah. Off an £80 purchase. It took me about 4 or 5 hours to sort for all of this, and I've still got to label half of it for it to actually go in. when you're looking at that sort of profit, and I know that I will sort of turn that over within 1 to 2 months. This is one of those the long sort of used media figures I'll go for. I probably won't buy any more video games now for a couple of weeks. I'll mainly stick to books now for the rest of the month, because I know that this is setting me up. This is the sort of listing I go for. So if we just go down and have a look at the sort of titles I had in there, Tropico, a great game. Literally, Tropico is a great game. Battlefield, PC, 15k in sales rank, $9.99. Let's just go ahead and we'll skew that to 100. So I will show you the sort of stuff that I got in this listing. Again, I didn't really know what I was going to get. The guy sent me some pictures of the box, of the lot of stuff I bought. I saw maybe 5 to 6 titles in there that I knew I could break even on. Darwinia, another good game. So as you can see, some of these games, they're not the best. So like this one here, I'm making about 20p profit on. But because I'm still making profit, I'll send it in. Here we go. Fanador, The Invasion. So I'm selling that for $34.84, purely because I'm the only FBA on there. And yes, it's used. It was in very good condition, no scratches on the disc, all the manuals were there. But because I'm the only FBA on there, and the only other person, Openbox Good, the only other person on there who is selling a used one is selling higher than they are now. 18k sales rank. I know that 2 to 3 of them are probably going to sell in the next couple of months. I'm the only Prime on there. If somebody wants to pay Prime, they will pay, and I can assure you that will be sold within 2 months. I paid 22p for that game. I've had this game before. I flipped it. I've sold it for a good price. The last one I got $29.99 for. So I know that, you know, it's a good seller. Pipe Mania, only listed that because, again, only FBA seller. So yeah, as you can see, a lot of titles in here. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Junior Edition. Great game for kids. So a lot of people do still buy used PC games, especially the hidden object games. They sell really well. People who aren't as PC illiterate, who don't really know about Steam, a parent who might be buying a game for a young child. I've got quite a few educational games on here. We scroll down a little. Where are we? Let's look for some of those educational games. Where are we? We're looking at those educational games, aren't we? Listed this. This is a new item. Yes, the sales rank wasn't good, but it's a new item. Brand new. Deus Ex, again, another good seller. So we're looking for those educational games. And they are around here somewhere. Disney Hot Shots. Not a lot of money. Got 2 of them. $4.99. Again, everything was there, no scratches on the discs. Great game. They will sell. Not just because it's Disney, it's because it's an educational game. Parents will buy that for their young kids. Again, Disney's Monsters Inc. Volume 2, another educational game. Not a lot of money in that one. Another educational game, a fair few educational games, look. So we got Disney Hot Shots, Princess Fashion Boutique, Little Mermaid, good sales rank. They'll be sold within a week, I'd estimate. Bratz Activity Centre, still quite, Bratz in this day and age is still quite a good thing. They are still selling in the shops, not this game, but we're talking toys, TV, DVDs, everything is selling in the shop. But yeah, we got a fair amount of stuff. So I will give you a little rundown for those of you who'd like to know on how Accellerlist works. So I've got a few book purchases that I've still got to scan in. They won't be sent in yet. They'll be sent in the next book shipment probably at the end of the week, once I've got another 50 or so books. So we go ahead over here, we click create a batch. So if we go, we'll just call this batch test 1. So I've got a custom SKU set up. Again, address will be blocked out. Channel FBA, you can go merchant fulfilled, but as you know, FBA is what we're all here for. Label preferences, seller labels, that just basically means that you're going to print the labels. You're going to label these items on yourself, and the majority of used media will require you to label it. Workflow type, private or public. Which warehouse? Do you want it split or do you want it to go to the same warehouse? I prefer private personally. So, excuse the beep. That is the barcode scanner. So, literally, just take a look at your book, your item. I won't buy books unless they're in a very good condition, because nobody wants a grubby book. So, we go ahead, click on the scan item, scan the barcode. There you go. Rank 12 in books. So my buy cost on this was 66p, and it's in good condition. We can then go down. SKU prefix here. I've actually got to go up, haven't I? And what is going on? Modified template. We modify template and we add the async to this batch. Save. Now if we could modify template, asyn, save, then we're going to need to cancel out of this product, rescan it in, and now I've got the asyn as my SKU, or my base SKU. Rather than having the rest of it. So expiry date if it's a food product or a product, perishable. Date purchased. This is very good if you want to track when you're going to get in your stock. You can then list your suppliers there. So supplier wise, supplier won't actually show up on Amazon itself from Accellerlist. This is just something that you will keep in your personal side for data purposes. So date purchased, tracking stock. I personally don't use date purchased on used media. I go by the date which I then assign to the top, usually to my shipment title, so the batch name. I'll normally put the date and I'll normally put what it is, so whether that be NG, new games, UG, used games, UDVD, used DVDs, NDVD, new DVDs, U-book, N-book, all the same. Then you've got the tax code. So general tax, no tax, books general tax, which is what we are. And pop it in. And there we are, look. Average sales rank of 12, estimated weight of 0.77 pounds, 92 pence profit. So on to the next. 19k in books. I will generally buy any book under 50k. Start of the month I will buy books under 100k. So if I find a book that's anything under 100k that I can make profit on, I will buy. Second week of the month I will lower that to 50k. Third week 25k. And then the last week of the month I tend to not buy books. However, that didn't happen last week. So we come down here. We want to just look at the prices. So the new FBA is selling for £8. Used is selling for £2, £2 to £4. So on top of that, they're probably going to be paying £2 to £4 shipping. So I'm going to go ahead and list this book at $3.99 with a 0.66 buy cost, and it's in very good condition. Again, we can come down here, do all the fancy stuff down here. We don't need to for this. Doo-doo. I do love that sound when it pops through. So the one thing that I don't know if you guys saw and I actually forgot to mention, if we hop back into the title here, what's this? You've actually got a keeper chart built in. So you can have access to that keeper data while you're actually, scanning in the stock. This costs you nothing more. It doesn't. It costs you absolutely nothing more. So you can actually go through and add some more to the displayed graph. So you've got Amazon, new, sales rank, and there are various other bits that you can add on there if you know the keeper metrics. So again, new is selling for X. I'm going to go in there again, £3.99 with a 0.66 buy cost. Not great profit, but still profit. So I will change my prices on these eventually. This is just a test to show you guys how it works. So you then hop in, preview shipment plan. It will then hop through and it will then tell you your shipment ID, where it's going to. As I said, the majority of used media will go to GLA1. You can then view items, you can accept the shipment if you're happy with it, or you can move it to loading area. Once you accept the shipment, it will then populate through on your Amazon seller side, which is brilliant. And that's just basically how I process my used media. I will make a point one day, let's just turn the barcode scanner off. I will make a point in the upcoming weeks of showing you how I go through books and other various used media in various different stores. And anything else you guys want to know, just let me know.